Alrighty, welcome to our latest live stream here on North Texas Weather Center, both on YouTube and Facebook, by the way, so you can check in on either platform. We'll be going over everything that you know about tonight in terms of severe weather. This will only be about a 20 to 30 minute live stream, but it should give you all the information that you do need for this evening, and I'll eventually, I'll probably go live later this evening if there's any tornado warnings, but as of right now, this is what we're looking at the radar. Storms are already starting to develop back out to our west, and the line of storms will be developing over the next hour and a half. There isn't a whole lot on the radar as of right now, but there will be a better chance for severe weather momentarily. As everybody joins in, make sure to follow our page here. Make sure to share this with a friend. We'll be going over everything that you know just in a moment. There's a very likely chance that we'll see a tornado watch in DFW, by the way, so just be mindful of that. I'll be going over the scenario that I'm looking at tonight in terms of a tornado threat as well. If you're tuning on YouTube or Facebook, you can tune in to either one. We're live on both platforms. YouTube is North Texas Weather Center. I don't know if it's linked below, but you can check it out there as well. On Facebook as well, we are live. So let's get started. So there's a severe thunderstorm watch, as many of you do know, for western North Texas. This will expire in a few hours. Let me go ahead and get rid of the purple boxes here. So here's your severe thunderstorm watch as of right now. This includes anywhere west of I-35. Exclusion would be Cook County, which is included in that. But basically, this is the threat for hen egg-sized hail and also damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So that'll be primarily back out to our west this evening. And that'll be over the next hour or two when that threat will be the greatest. Probably right around 7 to 8 o'clock will be the worst time for the severe weather in that region there. Now, there is a tornado watch likely going to be issued, which it seems like it will be issued, here in DFW. And that is this, purple shaded box here. That's where your mesocyclone discussion's issued, and there's a very likely chance we'll see a tornado watch in Denton County, basically every county in the 4-county metroplex, and also areas included would be Hillsborough, Corsicana, Cleburne, Terrell, Greenville, and as well as Sherman. All of those areas will be included in a tornado watch, and Paris also might be included in that as well. So basically a big chunk of DFW will be included in a tornado watch. Now, why is that? I'll go over that in just a moment. I'll show you the future radar and the scenario that was likely is going to happen, which will likely be we'll see a line of storms with a few discrete supercells that might form out in front of that, which is triggering that potential for a tornado or two that could even be a bit strong. So that'll be something to watch too, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But that's what we're looking at as of right now. There's also a chance for some heavy rainfall. There's a potential for some flash flooding in some areas off to the north of Route 80, so anywhere north of Denton and north of Plano will have a chance for maybe some flooding as well, so that'll be something to monitor, but that will primarily, I think, be just north of Denton and as well as Collin counties. That's what we're looking at as of right now. Also, if you have questions, you can always leave them in chat. We'll be going over the future radar in just a moment. And yes, there is a tornado threat this evening, and that threat will be the greatest in DFW and off to the east. The worst, I think, threat will be likely closer to areas like Tyler and areas basically in eastern Texas. But at this point, there's still a tornado threat in DFW. It's not zero. It's still low, but if the scenario that I think might happen happens, we could see a few tornadoes. And what I mean by a few is like 3 to 4 tornadoes within about 50 to 100 miles of the DFW Metroplex. So we have to watch that pretty closely this evening. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the future radar. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Pivotal Weather to do this because it just makes it a little bit easier. I can do it. Maybe I can do it on here. Let's go and try it out. I don't usually do it on my software, but we're going to try that real quick. But yeah, if you do have any questions, definitely let me know. I will be answering most questions. I'll be live for at least 20 to 30 minutes, so great time to ask questions. I will likely not be responding to many comments tonight. I'm already packed with messages, so I will probably not be able to get back to all of them this evening. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the chat, and I'll eventually get to them. All right, we're getting the future radar on now. Alright, and I am going to have to figure out how to pause this. I've never done this before. One moment. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's take a look at the future radar on this. Alright, so here's your timestamp at the top left of your screen. Pay attention to... Where did my pen go? I don't know where my pen went. One moment. I don't know if I even have a pen open. Okay, I'll probably get to that in a second unless it pops up on my screen. Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. Alright, so this is the timestamp right here, 7:11 p.m. in Central Time. So this is what we're looking at the future radar. So right around 7 o'clock, most of the storm activity is still back out toward west, alright? Eventually going closer to about 8 o'clock, you can start to see these storms start to enter areas like Bridgeport, Bowie, and as well as Graham. Those areas are starting to get hit by those storms, which could also have that potential for severe weather. Here in the Metroplex, a couple of isolated showers or a storm can't be ruled out, but severe weather is not expected out of those. Eventually by 9 o'clock, you can see the severe weather really intensify localized across areas like Decatur, Mineral Wells. The line of storms is basically right here. Now, where am I most concerned about for a tornado threat? Well, here's a couple of things that could happen. One, we could have a tornado threat embedded in the line of storms, so a brief and weak tornado or two could occur in the line of storms that's back out here to the west. So areas like Mineral Wells, Decatur, Bowie, those areas have a potential, and even in DFW have a potential for when that line comes through, an embedded tornado or two can't be ruled out. They will likely be weak, and brief. So those are not going to be much of a concern in terms of, bring significant damage. But they could definitely bring a little bit of damage if there's a tornado or two embedded in that line. Now, the other place that I'm watching for that potential for a tornado or two that could even be a little bit stronger, like EF1, EF2 kind of strong, we could see that in an isolated, discrete cell or two if they form out in front of that line of storms here closer to DFW. Now, where's that been most shown on these computer models? Primarily around here, so basically Plano, Greenville, Terrell, Dallas, and as well as just east of Fort Worth and east of Denton. Those areas have a potential for maybe a discrete supercell or two between the hours of about 8:30 to about 10:30 or 11 o'clock tonight. So that's an area that I watch for that potential for a discrete supercell. That is where I'm most concerned about maybe a potential for a tornado or two. That is a if, though. It's still a big if. I kind of mentioned it on yesterday's forecast. I was saying it's still a big question mark if it'll happen, but the cap is pretty weak out to really right now. It's pretty weak out near Terrell, Dallas, Plano, as well as Greenville, so there's a chance that this does actually happen. Eventually, by about 10 o'clock, you can see the storms really enter the Metroplex, but look at this big swath of rain here. This is why there's a potential for some flooding anywhere north of Route 380 in DFW. I mean, that's why we're looking at that potential, because of all that heavy rain back out to our north, right around 9, 10 o'clock. But you can see closer to the DFW Metroplex, storms moving through Denton County, Plano, as well as Fort Worth and Mineral Wells right around 10 o'clock this evening. By 11, the storms are moving through Dallas, Plano, and as well as Fort Worth. Eventually, by about 12 o'clock, the storms are moving into areas like Paris. Here's where your line of storms is. So it's basically exiting the Metroplex, the main intense portion of it. Heavy rain will still be ongoing for areas near the Red River Valley, so any counties bordering that, and maybe even closer to DFW, there could be some heavy rain still ongoing. By 1 in the morning, most of us will just be dealing with a little bit of light to moderate rain, and after that, we should be dry by 3 in the morning. I don't expect much thunder after that, but that is just something to keep in mind. That's your future radar. I will probably go to Pivotal Weather for my next one, because that was a little bit weird, but that is what we're looking at. Let's go back to the live radar and take a look at everything that's on the radar, because I didn't really go over this yet, and I'll get to questions in just a moment. Okay, so here's a look at the live radar, and again, if you're just joining us, you can watch us on either YouTube or Facebook. It was announced late last month that you can watch on either platform. We're live on both platforms, whichever one is easier for you. Alrighty, in 1 second, I'll go over the live radar, and we'll get to what we're looking at in terms of that tornado watch that's likely going to be issued here momentarily. Also, if you have questions, you can always let me know as well, and I will get to them soon. Okay, so this is a look at the live radar. Obviously, there's not any severe weather at this time, but there will be a big ramp-up of severe weather, I bet, over the next hour or so. That will be something to watch over the next hour or two. That's when we're watching for that potential for a rapid intensification of severe weather. And, sorry, I am trying to do something, and I did a test stream last night. It went well, and now I'm trying to do it again, and it's not working. Okay. All right, never mind. All right, so this is what we're looking at the current radar as of right now. So near Sherman, there's a little thunderstorm. This is nothing to be really concerned about, but there's a little cell currently going through Sherman and Grayson County. So you can see near Gunter, there's a little cell here that is going through that area. Nothing crazy out of this. There's just maybe some small hail or gusty winds, but that's about it. Also, Collinsville is also seeing a little bit of rain there, but nothing crazy. A little bit of lightning likely out of that. Back out to our west, there's a little shower here in Cook County. Nothing crazy. Again, a little downpour. That is very beneficial, by the way. Any rain we see is going to be very beneficial. Close areas in Monte County, we still have a strong storm ongoing near Bowie. That might have some hail up to the size of Nichols out of that one, and gusty winds up to 45 miles per hour. Near Jacksboro and Chico, there's a little storm there that is probably producing at least some nickel-sized hail to that one as well. You can see that little black area. That's going to represent very heavy rainfall and as well as that potential for some hail. And then back down to the south, our line of storms is now just developing right in this region here. That is where we're watching for that development here over the next 30 minutes. So that's what we're currently looking at in terms of the radar right now. There's some heavy rain ongoing in areas like Wichita Falls, more light rain in Wichita Falls, but in Clay County, there's more heavy rain there ongoing. So yeah, that's what we're currently looking at. I'll get to questions in just a moment. Let me try to do this again. For some reason, I can't look at my own stream on YouTube. I'm not sure why. Ah, there we go. Okay. All right, now we're good. Alrighty. So that is what we're currently looking at. And I will get to questions in a second. I said that 5 times, but... Okay. Alrighty, let's see what questions you guys have. I'll go probably to the first ones. It's very calm right now. The wind from earlier today has stopped pretty much. That does not really mean anything. Usually calm winds is basically, you know, the whole science behind it is basically when there's calm winds before the storms, that means storms are coming. That's kind of how it goes. But there's usually stronger winds during the daytime. We're starting to get to the evening. Winds are going to die down pretty much naturally, so no, that's pretty normal. North of the Red River. Yeah, you're just looking at rain right now. I don't think you'll see any severe weather tonight. There could be maybe a severe storm, but I think most of the severe weather will stay south of the Red River from here on out. I mean, we can go and pull up the... Let me go and show you the day 1 outlook here. So this is what we're looking at for tonight. There's only a slight risk for the Red River, or just north of there, but I don't honestly think we'll see anything crazy there this evening. I think most of the severe weather has subsided there. There was already some severe storms in Oklahoma earlier today. There was some large hail in a few places, but yeah, the severe weather is going to be moving down in the southeast now. Enhanced risk of severe weather does exist, though, for anywhere in DFW, Bowie, Sherman, those areas. Basically, most of North Texas is included in that, so yeah, that's what we're looking at in that regard. What about hail around the area? Oh yeah, let me go and bring up the hail threats. You can also go to ntxweathercenter.com and go under the Severe Weather Center tab. It will have all the outlooks in terms of hail, damaging winds, and tornado threat. But I will bring them up real quick, just kind of give you an idea. This is the hail outlook for tonight. And let me see what view I'm on. I am kind of on a large... Okay, this is fine. So this is what we're looking at. It kind of blocks out the right, but it doesn't really matter that much. But you can see this is where the highest hail threat is. It's out of those initial cells this evening. So Mineral Wells, Jacksboro, Bowie, Cleburne, anywhere back out to the west of I-35 has the potential for some large to very large hail up to the hen egg size. That's why there's a hatch zone. Other than that, anywhere in DFW has a chance for hail tonight. I would expect primarily quarter-sized hail for anybody in DFW if it does happen. Not everybody will see hail again. It's usually a pretty isolated risk regardless, but yeah, that's what we're currently looking at. Again, if you want to see those graphics, they're all on ntxweathercenter.com under the Severe Weather tab. North Dallas is going to be bad. I mean, you'll definitely see storms, but it depends on what you mean by bad. Yeah, I mean, I think the worst area for the severe weather tonight, I'm going to be honest, if the, you know, models are all true and whatnot, I think that we'll see the worst action in this area right here, but, you know, that's a big if still. It's a big question mark. It depends on how weak the cap is. The cap is pretty weak. I'll go and show you something real quick. A lot of you guys probably don't know what these numbers will mean, but I will explain it. I was on, when we had a little test stream last night at like 11:30 or something like that, we kind of went over this. This is a look at the cap, though. And this is a National Weather Service tool. I mean, you can literally view this on their website, but let's go ahead and zoom into this. So this is what we're looking at in terms of a cap. So what is the cap? Well, it's basically an area where warm air in the atmosphere is over top of cold air. That's when we have a little cap in place. So a lot of times it happens very often in North Texas. It's really the, you know, the basically, I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically the way that storms develop and how they don't develop. So severe weather won't always happen if there's a cap, which we have several instances of that happening even this year so far. But you can see all the values are, for the most part, below 30. And if they're below 30, the cap is weak enough for severe weather, or not just severe weather, but storms are more likely to occur in a cap less than 30. So all these values are pretty much under 30. You can see back out to the west, areas out here are values over 100 and 200 joules per kilogram, which basically means the cap is strong. So we're not really looking at anything back out to the northwest here anymore because of the cap being strong, and it's mostly just rain at this point. But that's kind of what we look at when we're talking about a cap. That's more, that I think that was from last hour, whenever that, or that might have been from 6 o'clock. But yeah, that's what we're kind of looking at. A little bit of a detailed explanation, but so the main tornado threat will be in... Oh, okay, so we already had quarter-sized hail reported in Jacksboro as of 12 minutes ago, and there's not any severe thunderstorm warning, so that's always good. So there's probably some quarter-sized hail in this storm here near Chico. I'm not sure why there's not a severe thunderstorm warning, but that is beyond my power to be able to do anything about that. But this is what we're looking at for the highest tornado threat. Oh, I put too many areas. This is the highest tornado threat. It's going to be in this area here, but it's not that high. It's a 5% chance in a 25-mile radius. I still think the worst tornado threat will be in this area here. Or, yeah. Right about there. At least for the North Texas region. I'm not including, you know, areas back out toward east like Louisiana, which will have worse severe weather tonight. Wichita Falls, I believe, is clear for tonight. You are out of the question. You're not going to see any tornado threat tonight. And also, guys, I am behind on questions by about 4 minutes, so just kind of give you a reference on where I'm at. Alright, tornado threat for Dallas is the same as basically anywhere in DFW. It's a 5% chance from a 25-mile radius. And same thing for Argyle. Anyone that's asking for tornado probabilities, it's a 5% chance within a 25-mile radius. That's just a general rule of thumb at this point for tonight's severe weather. I would still expect the worst tornado threat again to be in this area, but that's still, it's about a 5 or 6% chance within a 25-mile radius. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but that's where I think there could be the highest tornado probabilities. And that means maybe one tornado being in that large area. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at. YouTube channel to watch, I will go ahead and post that in chat if you would like to watch it on YouTube instead. As I said before, you can watch on either YouTube or Facebook. It's the same stream, but it's just kind of what you preference. I just posted it in chat, so you can check that out if it posts. There we go, yeah. So, that's what we're looking at there. Alright, can we see a tornado risk? Yeah, same thing for Justin. Says 3Z is when they might issue the tornado watch. I believe that's 7. No, yeah, it's about 7 o'clock, I believe. 3Z to. That's 8 o'clock apparently. Okay, so I was off on that, but yeah, that's 8 p.m. That's when it might get. So I think the tornado watch will probably get issued right around 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's my estimate. But yeah. Hail risk for Keller. Anywhere in Denton County has a 15% chance within a 25-mile radius of hail. Large hail, particularly. Okay, cool. I got caught up on all the questions. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'm not going to answer if you're going to see hail in a certain location unless it's something I already haven't mentioned. I've already mentioned all of DFW. You have all the same probabilities, so yeah, there we're at. But again, this is what we're looking at. The live radar as of right now is 6:50 p.m. Central Time. There is a strong storm, which should be severe thunderstorm warning, but there is potentially quarter-sized hail in this area here, just northwest of Chico. It's a pretty small area, but that's where we're looking for that quarter-sized hail potential. Anything behind that might have some smaller hailstones and definitely some heavy rain out of that. Gusty winds possible as well. Let's take a look at the velocities real quick. We haven't really looked at that yet. I'm not entirely sure we're really looking at any rotation right now, but there's definitely some gusty winds out of a few of these storms. And there's no rotation, obviously, right now, but kind of give you an idea of winds. Winds are gusty, 30 to 40 miles per hour. Looks like up here, a little bit more like damaging winds. I'm not sure if that might be a radar air. Nope, that's a bit of a strong storm. So, just northeast of Bowie, there might be some gusty winds up to 55 miles per hour, maybe even damaging winds. Right along 59. Also, anywhere in Montague County. That's the little storm there. Something to watch. And there's also, again, this is the area that we're watching pretty closely this evening. A line of storms will develop in this region here, and that's going to happen over the next hour or two. It's not really pronounced yet, but it will start to develop, and will likely be the strongest once it gets to about I-35. So, again, all of DFW under enhanced risk for severe weather tonight. That is primarily for damaging winds. Large hail and a couple of tornadoes cannot be ruled out, but that is the main threat, will be damaging winds. And again, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to post them in chat. I will be getting to most of them. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Facebook. Subscribe here to our YouTube channel for the latest information. If you want to become a supporter of North Texas Weather Center, you can become a supporter here on Facebook for only $4.99 a month. YouTube, I believe it's even cheaper. If you want to support our page, it is run full-time. And I'm in college, which is very expensive. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, so the timeline for Denton, I can go back. I'll go back to the timeline in a second. But Denton County will likely see the storms right around 8 to 9 o'clock. Somewhere in that range. Probably 8 to 10. That's my time frame, I think, for Denton County. But I would expect those storms to primarily sometime be right around 9 o'clock tonight. Winds could get as high as 80 miles per hour tonight. out of an isolated storm. I would expect most of them to be right around 60, but they could get up to 80. And again, not everybody's going to see 60 mile per hour damaging winds. It's only a 30% chance in the 0.5 mile radius, which means probably your probabilities of seeing it would be like about 25 to 30%. And we're just waiting for that tornado watch. I'm going to go back to the Storm Prediction Center's little mesocyclone discussion. I didn't really read it, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'll look at it and I'll tell you what it basically says. Yeah, so tornado watch will likely be issued for, basically, I already kind of showed, I'll go and pull it up again, but the tornado watch will basically be issued for central, eastern North Texas, and as well as portions back out closer to Tyler, which is not included in North Texas, but those areas will also be included in that. Let's go ahead and pull it up real quick. Not the right thing. Here we go. This is where that tornado watch will be issued. So it would actually possibly include Waco too. I don't think Waco will be included, but there's a possibility it does. But this basically includes, again, Sherman, Paris, Dallas, anywhere in DFW would be included in that. That got to the west of I-35, not included in that, will not be included in the tornado watch as long as it does get issued, which I believe they put a probability on all the watches that get issued. The severe thunderstorm watch was an 80% chance, just for reference. Let's go and take a look at this one. It's also an 80% chance, so it'll probably get issued. How long do you roughly see storms lasting? I mean, it depends on where you are, but most of these storms tonight, I mean, the most intense part of the storm usually lasts 5 minutes or less, but, I mean, you could hear thunder and lightning for hours. Depends really on where you are. Because, I mean, these storms, obviously, there's a lot of energy, a lot of instability, so we're going to probably see it. We're definitely going to have a lot of lightning and thunder. Or thunder and lightning, that's how you should say it. I don't know why I said thunder or lightning and thunder. Let me go to lightning maps real quick. We'll go ahead and take a look at what we're looking at in terms of lightning right now. Because there's obviously some thunder and lightning out there. As of right now, there is about 18 strikes per minute. So, and that's out of these storms right now. So it's actually not crazy, but it's definitely a good amount. I mean, this is including this pretty large area here. That does not include the Sherman storm. The Sherman storm, or the Grayson County storm, I should say, currently is definitely a strong storm, but it's bringing about 3 or 4 lightning strikes a minute. It's nothing crazy right now, but again, the storms aren't even peaked yet. They're going to really intensify over the next 30 to 60 minutes, so once we kind of get an idea of how intense they are, then we'll know better to see what happens for DFW tonight. Yeah, there's no severe storms right now, Chandler. There's actually no severe storms right now. I don't think we'll see any severe weather. I mean, we'll probably see severe weather in like 30 to 60 minutes. Just as of right now, there's no severe storms. It's going to be an intensifying line over the next 60 minutes. I mean, this is still a pretty broken up line, which has been pretty on track for what we're expecting tonight. I would expect the worst part of this line, again, to be very intense once it gets to I-35. Yeah, there's storms coming closer to Decatur. So, yeah, you're definitely hearing that thunder, me. How bad will it be in Abilene? Are we dodging these storms? Abilene, I don't think we'll see a whole lot tonight. Yeah, you're not going to see much. The line is already passed. I believe the dry line is already going to be pushing through your region pretty shortly. And these storms are definitely starting to intensify, so this will be something to watch here over the next 15 to 30 minutes. Closer to areas near Decatur, Wise County, and just west of there near Jack County. But yeah, Abilene looks like they're dodging those storms. As I said before, by the way, we're on YouTube and both Facebook, so we're live streaming both at the same time, so I'm reading messages on both chats at the same time. So if you're like, I don't see that message, it's on the other one. It's on the other platform. But let me go back to, what was I going to look at? Going to look at the surface maps real quick. I'm pretty sure the dry line is going to be moving through pretty shortly. Abilene is under a slight risk of severe weather. That was as of earlier, so that might be changed. But I don't think... I mean, oh, actually, there's a possibility. So there's a possibility we see a couple of discrete supercells in this area, with it, probably in a couple of hours once the cap weakens more there. But other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot of severe weather left for Abilene. I think that discrete supercell threat is likely going to be closer to this area in comparison to back out to the west. I believe the dry line is moving through that area now, so I can take a look real quick. Let me go and pull up. Let's go and look at the dew points and take a look from there. Alright, this is the METAR stuff, and actually, well, it's still pretty humid there. So the dry line has not come through that region, but I still don't think the threat is that high there. Let me go to the future radar real quick. Yeah, you might see a storm sometime between 7 and 9, but other than that, I think Abilene's pretty much fine. Alrighty. Carrie, can you use an electric stove during... No, you should not use anything electric when there's thunder and lightning. That includes, like, computers or, you know, stoves, electric stoves especially. You shouldn't, at least. I mean, people probably do, but you shouldn't. Because it can cause fires and stuff like that if there's lightning that strikes, you know, power line or something like that. What will cause it to strengthen? There's a lot more humidity in DFW. There's a much weaker cap as well. I mean, it's really a pretty prime setup tonight for at least DFW because we have all the humidity rising out of the Gulf of Mexico. Kind of as I said before, there's a lot of instability. The cap is weakening, and the cap is actually pretty weak now. Our cap is not completely gone, but it's very weak in DFW. So the cap is not strong enough to prevent severe weather. By any means, it's actually fairly weak, so those are the main reasons. Obviously, it's more, but those are the main 3 reasons that we're not... That's why the line will start to intensify over the next hour. That's why I said before, the line's probably going to be the worst right about here. I think the line will get the strongest once it gets to DFW. As long as everything stays on track. There could be something that changes, but that's kind of where we're looking at this point. I'll go back to looking at the radar here in just a second. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat, and I'll get back to them. Severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for Wise County. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will be possible with this storm. Alright, I do need to post this to Facebook real quick. And, I'm a one-man show, so this might take just a moment, but I'll be here. If you have any questions, again, let me know. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning, though, that does include Wise County and far eastern Jack County. Again, that is for that potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and maybe some nickel-sized tail out of a few of those storms. Or out of the storm, I should say. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, let's get back to questions. There's now a new severe thunderstorm warning, though. Again, that does include Wise County. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. That will expire at 8 o'clock tonight. So, the line of storms is now starting to strengthen, as I kind of said before. We'll probably see it get a lot stronger here within the next hour. Alright, now I'm behind on questions. Here we go. Alright, is that all of Cook County? Yeah, Cook County will, or Cook County, it looks like, no. Cook County will be in the severe thunderstorm watch. They will not be in the tornado watch. The tornado watch will only include the DFW Metroplex if it gets issued, which is an 80% chance. I would expect it to get issued. Sherman would also be included. Greenville, basically anywhere, any other county in North Texas will be included in that. That is not already under the severe thunderstorm watch. There's a lot of variables with that, I mean, with a tornado, the lag time can be, it really varies. When somebody sees it on the ground, again, that also varies. I mean, there's a lot of variables to that question, because, I mean, somebody could see it on the ground 10 minutes after it was on the ground, or they could see it when it happens. There's a lot of variables to that question. I mean, probably the easiest way to answer this is that it could be anywhere from, 0 minutes to up to potentially, 10 minutes. I mean, it's a very wide range. But most of the time, tornadoes only last a few minutes. I mean, it's not usually that long duration of an event. But it does depend, again, on the setup or the discrete supercells. There's just so many variables to that question. So there's not really one straight answer to, what the lag time is between a tornado and when we're actually aware of it. All I can say is the radar information, like the correlation coefficient, it updates, every couple of minutes. During severe weather events, it usually updates every 3 to 4 minutes, and velocities as well. So usually when we get a key indicator that there's very strong winds and velocity, there will be a tornado warning issued, and then there's potential, obviously, for a tornado to drop at any time, regardless of there being the warning. But, so yeah, there's a lot of variables to that question, though. Yes, Decatur is going to get hit. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning now, including northeastern Monte County and northwestern Cook County. That includes St. Joe, and that's the only town, I believe, included in that. Damage winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-sized hail also possible with this storm. Here's a little track for you. If you know anybody over the Red River Valley, that is something to watch out for, but pretty rural area. It's going to be going through obviously St. Joe it's going to be going through, but other than that, it'll be moving off to the northeast toward Leon, and eventually into the Red River, just north of the Red River Valley. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. So yes, there's now 2 severe thunderstorm warnings issued. And unfortunately, I have an issue. That is because I don't have my warning set up properly, so it's not working. Nothing to be concerned about for you. It's just, I have an issue. One moment, please. Let's see if I can fix this. I don't know if I'll be able to fix this on stream, but I can give it a shot. So yeah, now we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. I will look at the velocities in just a moment. I believe there was some rotation possibly on that storm a little while ago, but I could be wrong. That might have been a different storm. Decatur could see damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, Laurel. And I am behind on questions by about 2 minutes. So. Oh yeah, school is busy, James. It is very busy. I'm lucky I can do this. With all the stuff I have going on. I mean, I put 50 to 60 hours a week into my weather page. So, I mean, it's not like I'm doing this full time, and I'm also doing, weather full time. So, or I'm doing this full time and school full time. Excuse me. I don't know why I just said the same thing both. "60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gust, Laurel." It'll hit Argyle probably around 9 o'clock, or maybe just before that. So between 8:30 and 9:30, I would expect it to be there, Argyle. Yeah, right, Laurel. I remember that there was a tornado warning last Monday, wasn't there? Or that was 2 Mondays ago. Man, time flies. I can't remember what day it is anymore. Isn't it? Today is Monday, yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm forgetting what day it is. But yeah, today's Monday. You'll miss Justin. No, Justin will get storms tonight. I think everybody in DFW will see severe, or not severe storms, but at least some sort of a form of storm tonight. The line of storms is still developing. There's some rotation apparently being caught on the radar here. Let's go and take a look at this real quick. There's a little bit of rotation near Chico, so that's something to watch. There's also some rotation back up here to the north. So this will be something to watch. So some rotation near Chico. And that is strong rotation, if I'm not being mistaken, unless that might be... Let me take a look at a different radar. That's not strong, never mind. It's broad rotation. So there's some broad rotation near Chico right now. So that's something to watch out for. If you know anybody near Chico, make sure they're aware of that. That is broad rotation, though. It's not strong. Also, some pretty strong winds ongoing near St. Joe. Apparently, there was a 65-mile-per-hour damaging wind gust reported there. Just barely a couple miles northwest of St. Joe. I just saw that report from somebody. We're expecting hail with these storms. I mean, it depends on where you are. If you're west of I-35, you have the best chance of hail tonight, but... Stephenville probably won't see a whole lot from these storms. You might see a discrete supercell later. But yeah, I mean, primarily hail there as well, and damaging wind gusts might be a threat as well. Alright, so again, that's the velocities. There's a little bit of rotation in this storm near Chico. It's not strong, it is broad, but something to watch. It is. If there was a tornado, it would be brain wrapped, by the way, so just so you're kind of aware. Yeah, I know. Every year it varies. I swear, because last year I swear, like we had most of our severe weather on Tuesdays. This year it's Mondays. It's kind of weird. It's weird that they have. I mean, for some reason, a lot of the time they happen on like the same days. It's very strange. It's a little bit of a pattern. I remember when I used to live in New England, we would have like severe weather. Like we would have storms every Tuesday one year. We had like literally every Tuesday, almost every Tuesday, there would literally be storms on a Tuesday. And it would happen almost the entire summer. It was weird. And the rest of the week would be basically dry. It was very strange. Yeah, Plano will likely see heavy rain. Again, if you're looking for threats or anything like that in the DFW Metroplex, I kind of already said it. Damaging winds is the primary threat. Hail, possible. A tornado or two also going to be possible, but yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at tonight. So, looks like there's... Let me go back to this radar real quick. By the way, if you have any questions, again, put them in the chat. I'll be getting to them at some point. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook, North Texas Weather Center, Instagram as well. We're on Instagram, as well as on YouTube. Subscribe here to our YouTube channel. Stay updated with our latest forecast. I don't know how long I'll be live for, by the way. Once my roommate comes back, I am getting off because he doesn't want me live right now, but he's not here right now, so I am fine. But if he does come back, or whenever he does come back, I will go off live, but I'll be live as long as I can. The main time that I'll be going live at would be sometime between 9 and 11. I will not be live most likely after 11 o'clock, but if there is any tornado warnings between 9 and 11, I will be live. So, just kind of a heads up. Well, this is an interesting graphic. I didn't see this before. So the National Weather Service a tornado warning. Watch out. So there's now a tornado warning in effect for St. Joe. I will go over the graphic that I was just looking at a second ago. There's now a tornado warning in effect for St. Joe until 7:45. That is northeastern Montague County. There is a tornado warning. Should be seeking shelter immediately away from windows. And I have to post this on our Facebook page again, so just give me 1 second. There's rotation in that storm. There's a tornado warning again for St. Joe until 7:45 p.m. Should be seeking shelter immediately away from windows, interior room of your house. Alright, there's now a tornado warning again for St. Joe. I did see a rotation in the storm earlier. This is a current look at the rotation. Not a very good view of it. Let's go to this other radar. And we'll see if it loads. Nope, not a very good radar view. Okay, we'll go back to the DFW radar. Alright, so again, there's a tornado warning in effect for St. Joe. Not a whole lot showing up on the radar right now, but that might be just an area of the radar glitch. But this is what we're looking at for the rotation. I'm going to go back to the timeline. I'm going to go back in time just a minute and see what we can look at here. So there's some rotation in it. It's nothing crazy, I would say, but there's definitely some broad rotation. It's trying to circulate, so there's a potential that we see a tornado drop at any time out of this storm. So definitely be seeking shelter away from windows and interior room of your house. It definitely has a hook on it. It's pretty pronounced. Here's your little hook kind of going here. Inflow would be coming in through the front of the storm, which is not a whole lot in front of it. A little bit of drizzle, but nothing crazy. So definitely a little bit of inflow probably going into the storm. So definitely a chance that we see a tornado with this storm at any time. definitely make sure you're seeking shelter. This is, again, anywhere in northeastern Montague County and northwestern Cook County. That is where a tornado warning is ongoing. Or just began, really, but... You still there? I am here. Thank you. I don't know if you went out or something, but... So again, there's a tornado warning ongoing here near St. Joe. This warning expires at 7:45. There's some rotation with this storm. It's very strong winds. There's very strong winds, so there could be a possible tornado right now. There are very strong winds right now, so there is a good chance. There might be even a microburst, but there could also be a tornado in the storm. You can see it's a very strong hook here. Again, if there was a tornado, it would be sitting right about here. So it'd be probably already past Route 82. And this is going off to the northeast. So we'll be going into Cook County here pretty shortly. It's currently in northeastern Montague County. That's currently where we're looking at. Me, thank you so much for the $4.99. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for the super chat on YouTube. Thank you for your donation. There's still some broad rotation again near Chico, but it's not strong, so it's not very concerning right now. Black will represent either large hail or very heavy rain, Rebecca, on the radar. Yeah, I'll go back to Decatur for a second. This is a look at Decatur right now. Just some storms, nothing crazy. 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts possible, but other than that, no, I would not expect any large hail to this. Probably just nickel size at the most. But yeah, that's what we're looking at there. If you need to pause your screen, you can pause it or go back a second, but that's what we're looking at as of right now. Again, this is our main focus. There's a tornado warning, likely going to... There might be a tornado on the ground right now near St. Joe. This is kind of where we're looking at. This was a few moments ago. So if there's a tornado, it would be somewhere around here now. This is northwest of St. Joe. By a few miles. Rotation does not show up amazing on this radar, but you can kind of at least get the general picture that there is definitely some rotation here with this storm right now. Strong winds here on the eastern side of the storm, which definitely indicates there's definitely some rotation with it. It has a pretty pronounced hook again, so possibly a tornado on the ground right now near St. Joe. Alright, so tornadoes that formed tonight, and this is again on YouTube. Again, we're streaming on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. You can look at either one. We're streaming the same thing, same time, all that, but it depends on what one you prefer. But this is a YouTube comment. So will the tornadoes that form, will they be EF2, EF1? Usually, in most cases, they're going to be on the weaker scale, especially with the line of storms. Now, this is not necessarily in a line. This is a little bit of it's in the line, but it's a bit discreet as well. So something like this could be possibly up to an EF2 tornado. In this instance, but it's hard to predict if they'll be EF1 or EF2. For the most part, any tornadoes tonight will likely be below EF2, so most of them will only be EF0 or EF1, if there is any tornadoes, which, again, it's still a bit of an if, but most of us will probably not see anything like that tonight. But, again, there's a tornado warning right now in St. Joe. No, this storm is not going toward Gainesville. Gainesville is not going to see this particular storm, so don't be too concerned about it. It's going off to the northeast. It's going to be going into northwestern Cook County and northeastern Montague County near St. Joe again. This is just north of St. Joe now, just northwest of it. It's just going east now of Route 82. And let's go back to the correlation coefficient, and I did not mean to do that. Not showing a whole lot. Here's your velocities again. Pretty strong winds with this storm. Definitely some rotation with this, without a doubt. So, potential for a tornado at any time with this storm. Very strong winds, to say the least. By the way, the rotation in the Chico storm is pretty much fizzled away. So, no concern, it looks like, out of that cell particularly. There's very, very, very strong rotation right now with the St. Joe storm, just north of St. Joe. Very strong winds, to say the least. This is where that rotation is. It's right along 82. Turbo is asking, could the enhanced risk for severe weather tomorrow end up becoming more moderate risk? and end up expanding to Pensacola, Florida. I haven't looked a whole lot into the tomorrow's event. I mean, it's not going to impact North Texas at all. I do think there will probably just be an enhanced risk, but it's possible it gets upgraded to a moderate risk. I'm not entirely sure, though. I have not looked a whole lot into tomorrow because I don't really, it's not that I don't care. I just usually only look at North Texas weather. I live in Florida, and I don't even look at the Florida weather, to be honest. Whatever happens here happens. I don't know what's going on half the time. I focus almost all the time on just North Texas weather, so. By the way, if you know anybody in the St. Joe area, make sure they're aware of the storm. Either share this with them, message them, something like that. Make sure they're aware of this potential for a tornado tonight. There's a tornado warning again for St. Joe. This is northeastern Montague County and northwestern Cook County. There's some fairly strong rotation, a pretty large hail core as well. This is likely going to be as high as maybe hen egg-sized hail right now, dropping near Route 82. So very strong storm there. Valley View is under a warning. I don't think they are. Oh, sometimes you might have county notifications on, so you might be getting a notification about that. I got you, Turbo. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'll look more into it. If you message me on Facebook or whatever, or comment on one of my YouTube videos, I'll try to get back to it tonight, but I have not had much time to look at that. There's at least golf ball sized hail with this storm, so just keep that in mind. There's new severe thunderstorm warning for very southern portions of Oklahoma near Leon, but there's at least golf ball sized hail right now with this storm. This is the track again, so it's not really going toward really any populated areas, it looks like. It's kind of in a bit of a rural area, but just north of St. Joe again. That's where the strongest winds are, and that potential for tornado does exist still with this storm. Very strong rotation. It is very strong rotation still. My velocity radars, unfortunately, are not the best, so they don't pick up on it very well, but it is very strong rotation. Yeah, a lot of people will receive warnings in counties. Like, they'll have county warnings on a weather app or something like that, and they'll get notifications for, a possible tornado warning. Like Cook County, if you live in the very far southeastern portion of Cook County, you might get a warning for this. It just depends on your notification alerts. But I'm not entirely sure what that whole thing does. I don't really know too much about that. Alright, let's take a bit more of a zoom on this storm here. Let's go back to the velocities. They are very strong. Again, strong winds with the storm without a doubt. Correlation coefficient. This could be debris. It's not very clear and obvious though to me. And there's obviously it's not tornado. It's not confirmed that there's a tornado either. But there's very strong winds at least with this storm. Winds up to 70 to 80 miles per hour at least with this storm. So it's very strong. Here's their latest radar update. Man, look at this storm. This is a very strong storm. Here's your hook again. Inflow would be coming into the storm. Tornado would be sitting right about there. Very strong hail core here as well. I mean, there's probably at least golf ball size with that, so. Is there an app on the phone that people should have for tornado warnings? I mean, any app really works. AccuWeather, the Weather Channel, NBC DFW 5, whatever. I mean, any of those apps work for severe weather alerts. Yeah, there's a bunch of apps out there. I mean, basically any weather app will give you alerts. They're all the same. There's not really any differences with any of them. As far as I know, most of them are. They'll give you the warnings at the same time. I don't think Radar Scope gives you warnings, so I use Radar Scope for most of my stuff, but I don't think it gives you any warnings. I've never tried it, but I don't think it does. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're live streaming on both platforms. You can pick and choose which one you want to watch on. Again, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow on Facebook. If you want to support us even more, become a supporter on Facebook for only $4.99 per month. Helps our page significantly. And as well as our YouTube channel, you can become a supporter as well. It gives you a chat badge. I believe it's only $2.99 a month for the low-end option, so definitely plenty to choose from there. Really appreciate your support. You can also send stars here on Facebook, apparently. Don't know what that even means, but you can do that as well. Alright, going back to the Decatur storm, because this one I haven't really checked in on a while. There's, again, a severe thunderstorm warning for Wise County. includes the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and hail up to the size. And there's now a tornado watch. Thank you for notifying me. So there's a tornado watch, including all of DFW, as kind of expected already. And I do have to post about this, so just give me 1 second, because it has to go on Facebook. I will go back and zoom into this storm, and then we'll go back to the Decatur storm in just a moment. Let me post this though real quick. Again, there's now a tornado watch that includes all of DFW. Hail up to the size of quarters. And then damaging winds up to 75 miles per hour. I would expect damaging winds possibly up to 80 miles per hour. As I said before, I might abruptly have to go off air at some point. I'm not sure when that'll be. It depends on when my roommate gets back, but we'll see what happens. I will go live for tornado warnings, though, between the hours of 8 to 10 tonight. Alright. Post is live on Facebook. And, yeah. Alright, going back to the storm. I will go storm by storm here in just a second. I have not looked at the Wise County storm really at all yet. Alright, let's take a look at this. So, again, this is what we're looking at in terms of the potential for a tornado just north of St. Joe. It's in a pretty rural area at this point, so not as much of a concern, but it's still a concern for anyone that lives in this area. Very strong velocities, very strong winds. Correlation coefficient is picking up maybe some debris, but this is really where we're looking right now for that potential for at least some large hail. Very damaging winds, to say the least. There could be a tornado with that as well. Not confirmed at this point, but the tornado would be located right about there, and it's moving, again, off to the northeast. It'll be entering into northwestern Cook County pretty shortly. Going back to the Wise County storm, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Warning expires at 8 o'clock. And maybe some small hail out of that, but not any large hail, looks like, as of right now, at least. Alright, let's go ahead and take a timeline on this, and I'll give you a little bit of a timeline for everybody in terms of this line of storms. And I kind of give you an idea of where this is all heading, so this will kind of give you at least a general idea of when you should see storms tonight. This is based off of radar estimates, so this might be a little bit quick or it might be a little bit slow. But Denton is expected to see the storms right around 7:06. That might be slightly fast. Lewisville right around 8:29, Fort Worth around 8:32, Arlington about 8:43, Carrollton 8:45, Irving 8:49, Grand Prairie 8:50. 8:56 for Plano, and then 8:58 for Richardson. So that's kind of the timeline at this point for your locations. Now, that could be also a little bit fast, so just give or take 15 minutes on those times. But that is currently what we're looking at in terms of the times that is being forecasted. And a little bit of a notable thing or something to note, if you know anybody near Hillsborough or Waco, they were not included in this tornado watch. So 3 counties in North Texas are not under a watch. Everybody else is, though. The tornado watch, again, includes, didn't really go over it too much, but it includes basically Denton, Fort Worth, Cleburne, Plano, Dallas, Red Oak, Greenville, Terrell, Sherman, Paris, Athens, Corsicana. All those areas are included in a tornado watch. Roommate could be the new co-host, yeah, right? I don't think he wants to do this. He's actually, you know what's crazy? He's actually in a meteorology. He's a meteorology major. I'm a meteorology major too, but... Yes, I said, did I not say 8:06? 8:06 for Denton. I apologize if I said 7:26. If I did, I did not realize that. Second round of storms, it's not anything crazy. This stuff out here is just... I mean, it's just, you know, weak storms. There might be some thunder and lightning out of those, but that's not what we're looking at for the main event. That's not going to be anything severe. Yeah, that second line that's kind of forming, it's not going to probably be severe at this point. Rotation is not nearly as strong near St. Joe, but it's still at least very strong winds, so... something to keep in mind there. Yeah, that's what we're currently looking at right now. If you have any questions, again, let me know in chat. We'll be getting to some of them. Not all of them. New severe thunderstorm warning north of the Red River, so that's nothing to be concerned about, but that is a storm that is going through far northwestern Grayson County. It's just exiting there. Might be some large hail north of Bells, but that'd be about it there. And yeah, that's what we're looking at as right now. Let me go back to... Just going to look at this real quick. Alright, cool. Alrighty, cool. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. I'll be reminding you probably another million times before the stream ends, but really helps our page grow. Stay updated with everything that you know about the severe storms tonight. We will be live probably for a little bit longer. I'm not sure how long it'll go again. I'll go as long as live as I can, but I'm not sure when they'll end. When May comes around, by the way, I will be live without restrictions, so don't be concerned when May comes around. Obviously, May is pretty much the worst month for severe weather. I will have no restrictions after about May 5th or so. I have restrictions because I'm in college. Obviously, I have a roommate, so... Next year, also, I will not have any restrictions because I will not have a roommate. I will be in a single room, so I won't have to be concerned about that. Yeah, I mean, it's going toward... I don't know how you even pronounce the name. Marita? I might be saying that right. It might not be. But, yeah, I mean, it's going that direction, but, you know, there's a possibility to see severe weather again. I didn't put it out of the question. I'm just saying there's a possibility, but it's pretty low there. There is a possible... Okay, never mind. It's not a tornado on the ground, but there's a considerable amount of hail damage possibly in northern and northeastern Monte County entering northwestern Cook County. Hail the size of hen eggs is possible with this storm now, so... No, this tornado is not going toward McKinney, Oliver. Marietta, thank you. Thank you for the pronunciation. I'll try to remember that. I will... It takes me a while. I'm getting there. As long as you keep correcting me, I'll get to it. My pronunciation might be not on track, but my accuracy usually is, so... We'll get there at some point. But again, there's still a tornado warning ongoing for northern and northwestern Cook County, and that's going to be entering there pretty shortly. Possible up to hen egg-sized hail. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Gainesville, as of right now, no concern, but again, that could change pretty quickly. Weather conditions usually change fairly quickly with these storms. A couple of little showers trying to form right now, and this is what I was concerned about before. There's a weak cap, so if these storms really explode, we could see possible discrete supercells in areas east of I-35E, so this will be something to watch, possible for maybe a couple of discrete supercells. Let's see if it happens. Again, it's kind of a question mark. It's been a question mark since, you know, days ago, but I'm saying, I mean, there's a chance that these do become discrete and we have a tornado threat out of them, but it's very, very questionable at this point. Yeah, there's a tornado watch for all of DFW. Just that potential for a tornado does exist for anywhere in DFW. And I mean, it exists everywhere, but tornado watch has a possible, you know, the conditions are favorable for maybe a few tornadoes in that area. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a dark indicator. The sun's also setting, so that might be why, but yeah, it's definitely going to be dark because of, you know, storms rolling through there. Can you show the area that'll be coming over Denton? I mean, this is the area right here. It's this. It's the line of storms that's trying to develop. I believe Keller's right around 8:15, 8:30, that kind of area, that kind of range. It's probably going to be around then. You know, this area behind this initial area of storms might be something to watch. Because the humidity hasn't really dropped there. I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick. These might be elevated over the cap. That could be a possibility. But just taking a look right now, the velocities back out to the west aren't very strong. So it's probably not going to be anything crazy. Might be some hail out of those. But yeah, that'll be something to watch. There's a little line behind the initial line of storms that's trying to develop right now. But I'm not entirely sure. Let me take a look. Here's the temperatures. You can definitely tell the temperature contrast is crazy here. DFW right now in the 70s, mid-70s. Back out to the west, Even behind the storms, it's still in the low 70s. So there's a possibility that this could be a line of storms that we have to watch near Graham. That's a possibility. Because the dew points even are still pretty high, but the highest dew points it looks like right now are still in DFW. I mean, you can see the dew points are starting to rise here in the Metroplex, mid-60s, currently 67 near Dallas for the dew point, so it's getting humid here. Back out to the west, dew points are still in the low 60s, so let's monitor that area of storms behind it. I don't think it'll be that bad, but it'll be something to watch. I don't think severe weather will be as prominent with those storms, though. My opinion, at least. The severe thunderstorm watch does expire, by the way, at... Oh, let me turn off this filter real quick, because that's going to get a little bit annoying. The severe thunderstorm warning, or watch, excuse me, expires at 9 o'clock. So I would expect most of the severe weather to be out of these storms here near Decatur, and obviously the line of storms is trying to develop, not having a whole lot of success on the south end right now, but again, it is expected to strengthen here over the next hour, so something to watch. The severe potential after this line of storms should be pretty low. If not, pretty much zero after this line of storms. But it should be very low. But even if it's very low, the main threat would just be hail. And that would be maybe up to quarter size. Other than that, not really anything. There won't be a tornado threat, I don't think, at least behind the line. Again, here's your tornado warning. I've gone over it several times, but there's a potential for a tornado to be on the ground right now north of St. Joe. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and headache-sized hail is definitely happening with the storm, so... something to be mindful of if you know anybody in far northwestern Cook County and northeastern Monte County. And they'll be going to Leon pretty shortly. And here's a look again at the Wise County storm. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will be possible with this storm. What we're going to look at. Let me go back to... Let's go back to the future radar. Alright, I'm going to bring up a future radar real quick. Just kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at in storms, but it's not overly accurate because it's not keeping up with... I'm not going to show it yet. I'll look for the next update at 0Z, which should be any time now. It's not entirely accurate, so I won't show it, but... Yeah, I mean, I'll show you the timeline once it comes available. It should be available here in a few minutes, but... Stay tuned for that. Going to the watch, by the way, the tornado watch includes the possibility there's a... let's go ahead and take a look at the probabilities that they gave. So, there's a 50% chance in the tornado watched area for 2 or more tornadoes. 20% chance for 1 strong tornado, which is an EF2 to EF5. Probability of 10 or more severe wind events, which means damaging winds, is 70%, which is pretty high, as you probably could imagine. Then the hail probability, 10 or more hail events, is a 40% chance, so it's not that high, but it's a little bit low. And yeah, that's what we're looking at in the tornado watch zone. So that includes DFW again. So I would expect the damaging wind threat to be the highest tonight. Well, Hazlitt be affected? Anyone in DFW will be affected by these storms. It's almost guaranteed. The line of storms looks like it's trying to still develop. Let's go take a look at the past radar here. I'm going to go and just kind of bring that up real quick. Just go over the timeline here. It'll take a second to, develop or whatever, but kind of get an idea of what we're looking at right now. See these storms right here? Those are the storms that have stayed pretty potent and strong. Storms back down here to the south are trying to develop. It's mostly just rain right now. Alright, let's go over the last, 30 minutes or so. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. So, alright, so just kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at here. So, let's go ahead and pause this and get off of it. 1 second. Just going to restart the radar real quick. Should take 2 seconds. So, there's a couple of little showers trying to develop. Again, this is where I would watch out for the potential for a discrete cell or two to develop. Not a very high risk at all, but there's a possibility that we see 1 or 2 develop. If that does occur, which it's trying, it's not very successful so far, but if it does somehow break through and we see some storms out of this, that could potentially bring that threat for a tornado or 2 out in front of the line of storms that's developing. And I would expect that threat to be greatest around 8:30 to 9:30 for this area here. I changed it to white. It's just easier to see on this map. But going back out to the west, you can see here. That's where we're watching for that line of storms. The line is not really extended much at all. There's just some showers behind it. But it is expected to strengthen, so we're going to keep watching that pretty closely. No, the tornado threat is nowhere close to what it was on March 21st. We're not looking at a repeat of what we just saw. We saw 16 tornadoes on March 21st. Nowhere near that this time. The most I think we'll see is 3 or 4. That would be tops, I think. I'm hoping so too, Lone Star, Texas. I hope I will. I really want. I moved to Florida. Obviously, most of you guys know that. I moved way back in early last year, mainly because of college. But I want to work. If I do end up going to the news one day, I'll end up probably going back to Texas if I get that choice. Obviously, it's kind of hard to just choose where you want to go. But I would love to be back in North Texas. I love doing the weather here. So. Yeah, the Decatur storm is definitely going right into, or the Wise County storm, I should say, is going right into Decatur right now. So it's going there right now. It's blurry on my end. That's good. I don't think it is. Timeline for Denton. Denton should be right around 8:15, 8:30, I think. That's kind of my... It might be a little bit later than that, though. I mean, the computer, whatever this is, the software said it was 35 miles per hour. It might not even be going that fast, so it might be closer to 9 o'clock. I said 9 o'clock earlier, so... Alright, here's a little development here near, looks like south of Dallas. This is, again, what I'm watching for. If these storms really start to strengthen, not strengthening a whole lot, but if this really gets going, we could see a discrete supercell in Dallas or Collin County. So, this is something to watch. Both of these areas, they're not strong right now. They're nothing like that, but this will be something to watch again. No reason to panic, but just make sure you're watching these, because they could develop here over the next 30 minutes or so. Again, tornado warning is going to expire in 5 minutes. It looks like it'll be light to expire. The rotation kind of fizzled out, but there was strong rotation when it was in St. Joe. Definitely some large hail, though, and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Let's see. Rome impact other than winds. Basically the same threats again. Possible for damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornado all exist tonight. Those are our threats as of right now. Looks like the tail end of the storm is trying to strengthen here. Looks like in southern Wise County, so that'll also be something to watch here. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching us on YouTube. We're on both. And hail at quarter size was reported in St. Joe, by the way, about 5 miles north of St. Joe. That was from earlier when that storm was rolling through there with the potential tornado. No confirmed tornado. It does not look like one happened, but there could have been one briefly. We never know. If you're in the tornado watch, it means conditions are favorable for a tornado or two to develop in that watched area. So... Mr. Fox. That's basically anywhere in that area has a chance for a tornado. By the way, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure to follow us. Share this with a friend. Make sure they're aware of this event. I will be live again for as long as I can be. Strong storm, by the way, near Ector and northeast of Bells. Kind of out of our, not really in our coverage area, but something to look at there. It's somewhat in our coverage area. Strong storm there, not severe right now, but that could be severe thunderstorm warning at any time. Yeah, these like little showers here, they're really trying to form. Nothing successful so far in Dallas County or Collin County, so good news there. Going back to the line here. This is what's in Wise County right now. But if you want to support North Texas Weather Center even more than you are already, make sure to subscribe here to our Facebook page. It's only $4.99 a month. Or subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's $2.99 a month. Really helps our page grow, and I am doing this full time, so it really helps me out a lot. And I'm in college, which is super expensive. By the way, again, if you have any questions, let me know in chat. I will get to them as soon as I can. again, I will be live for as long as I can. Not sure how long that'll be, but see how long it goes. Alrighty. And this is again a look at this live radar. Nothing new over the last 15 minutes or so. It's been pretty much the same old, what we've been looking at for a while. Looks like hail up to the $half sized hail was reported as well, in between St. Joe and Nakona. So that was from, again, this storm that happened earlier. That was at 7:24, so about 19 minutes ago. There was $half sized hail reported by law enforcement. And then emergency management, again, reported the quarter-sized hail north of St. Joe. Tornado warning is expiring in under 60 seconds, by the way, so after that, it looks like there will not be an extension of the tornado warning. Again, Highland Village probably right around 9 o'clock or so tonight. Yeah, the rotations really died down in that storm that was near St. Joe. That's now going into the north of the Red River, but so I would not be concerned about that at all. Wise County hit Gainesville. I mean, any storm that hits Gainesville, anything back here will probably be right around 8:30, I would say. No problem, Keith. Appreciate you tuning in. How high are the winds indicator? Guessing how high you're asking. They could be up to 60 miles per hour. I don't think they're even that high right now. Let me take a look at the velocities. By the way, this is not rotation, just so you're aware. But winds currently are around 40 to 45, according to the velocities, which isn't always accurate. So wind gusts could be up to 60 out of that. That's at least radar estimated. The downdraft wind potential is showing up to 60, so that's what we're looking at there. I don't really use the downdraft wind potential a whole lot. Or gust potential, I should say. Alright, going back into the DFW Metroplex, there's a little shower here near Plano. Again, if any storm does develop out here, it could very rapidly become severe, so we're watching that area very closely. A new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for Bonham. I'm probably saying that wrong, or Bonham. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. That is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. That is moving off to the northeast. That definitely has a good hail core there, so there very well is probably hail in that storm. So that is going to be going towards 78. If you know anybody in that area, hail up to the size, again, of quarters is possible. Yeah, the rotation of the St. Joe storm is pretty much gone, so I don't think you'll see anything if you were going to go storm chase it or something like that. Bonham, thank you. I was right the second time, thank you. Also, a little storm forming near Sherman. Not strong, but definitely a little bit of a downpour, maybe some thunder. I'm going to go back to lightning maps in just a second. Damaging wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour is now possible with the storm in far northern Cook County. Some storms going through Gainesville. Gusty winds up to 45 miles per hour is possible. What about Paris? You'll see storms a little bit later, but right now you're dry. Same threats as everybody else. Let me go ahead and take a look at how much lightning is currently ongoing here in the DFW area, North Texas to be specific. See if that's intensified at all. It was 19 or 18 strikes per minute a while ago. Woo-wee! That is way higher now. There's now 85 strikes per minute. So about 60 minutes ago, and you can tell how much more intense these storms are. 60 minutes ago, or whenever I started this live stream, that might have been an hour ago. I can't remember anymore. How long has it been? Does anybody know? Let's see. How long have I been live? 6:33. Just about an hour. So when we first went live, it was at 19 strikes per minute. That means 19 lightning strikes per minute. Now it's up to 83 across all of North Texas. So it is a lot higher. These are very highly electrified storms. That means there's about 1,245 strikes every 15 minutes. A lot of lightning. And a lot of lightning is really going on with these storms here. A lot of lightning in these storms, and there's also lightning back here, back out to the west. But yeah, these storms are very electrified, that's without a doubt. The storm near Bonham is definitely nowhere close to that. It's only a couple of strikes per minute, but yeah, they're very strong storms. A lot of lightning, without a doubt. Lightning is not really severe, but it is definitely something to be mindful of. Anyone in Denton County, same threats. Timing is right around 9 o'clock. Yeah, this line has really struggled to develop on the southern end of that. I mean, like, you can see that this line is not really organized by any means, but, again, it should organize within the next hour. Kind of not nearly on track is what we're expecting, but it's starting to try to develop in this area. You can see a little storm way down at the southwest corner of where this, white outlined area is, but this is where we're watching for maybe some development. That would be when the line develops. That will be something to watch. This is going to be the strongest part of it, though, I think, right about here. I drew that line bad. Right here will probably be the worst part of this line in terms of damaging wind gusts. And again, damaging winds is the main threat. Tornado threat is low tonight, so don't be, panicking. Have a plan in place, though. Go to ntxweathercenter.com if you want to check out our How to Prepare for Severe Weather guide. You can get all the information. I'll post it on our chats in just a second once I find it, but that is something to really look at. My writer, Jay, made it. He was a great writer, and he put a lot of time into it. So you can look at all the severe weather threats, including hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, and even flooding, and get all the information there. Let me go and put it in the chats. I'll go and post it. If you need some help on how to prepare for severe weather tonight, it is a great way to do it. I'm putting my speaker on because I don't know why it wasn't on before. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us here on Facebook for the latest tonight. We will be keeping you updated throughout the evening, all the way up until about 12 o'clock tonight. So you have somewhere to look for weather. It is here. We are going to be keeping you updated this evening. We keep you updated all the time with any severe weather that does come your way. Also, we are on Instagram, as I kind of said before, so if you want to check us out there. So just 1 second. Also, thank you for Joanne for becoming a supporter. I missed these. Thank you, Joanne, for becoming a supporter. Rebecca sent 200 stars. Thank you for your support. Desiree, thank you for sending 200 stars. I appreciate it. Carola, thank you for sending 200 stars. I also appreciate it. Appreciate your comment as well. Ryan Davis, thank you for the 200 stars. I apologize, I did not get these before my alerts were off. Rebecca, also, thank you for becoming a supporter. I appreciate that as well. And Jolene, I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for the 200 stars. I appreciate your support. I am sorry that I missed all these alerts. Thank you for the 1,200 stars from Sarah. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And I believe that's it. Also, Neil from last night, thank you for becoming a supporter for 4 months now. Thank you so much. On a 4-month streak. Alright, caught up on alerts. I apologize, I don't have alerts completely set up on my stream, so it's not going to be completely lit. Also, thank you for the super chat. This is from 50 minutes ago. I kind of already said it, but thank you for the super chat on YouTube for $4.99. I appreciate your support as well. Alright, back to questions and all the other stuff in terms of what we're looking at severe weather right now. Yeah, I know it. I'm the same way with, watches and stuff like that. I will be up all night watching, even, there's some nights where, like, I don't even live in Texas, but, like, I'll literally be watching severe weather all night, because obviously I do it for you guys, but, I love just watching, all the severe weather stuff and, looking at all the different ingredients and just kind of figuring out how to determine certain things. It's really, obviously a lot of you guys watch it just because, you're worried about potentially severe weather. For me, it's just, I want to watch it. It's interesting. I've always been into weather, so. Yeah, there's some rotation in the Decatur storm. I don't think it's really rotation, though. I'll go back to it. I've looked at it a few times. I mean, there's, like, it looks like rotation, but, if you go from another radar view, it's nowhere close to that. The rotation isn't actually that strong. It's pretty broad. You can see from a different radar view, there's nothing. So it will show like that on the radar sometimes, but it's not always rotation. Even though it looks like it is, it's not necessarily rotation. A new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for Denton County. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail is going to be possible with this storm. So it is an intensifying storm. I do have to post this, so just give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and take a screenshot and post this real quick to our Facebook. By the way, I do apologize. If you are messaging me on Facebook, I will not be able to get back to your messages anytime soon. So, just comment if you have any questions here on our stream. That'll be easiest. Let me go and post this. 1 second. All right. It is posted on Facebook, and I will go and copy this, and boom, cool, it is on now on Facebook, if you wanted to check out the warning. Alright, there we go, and this is now the new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that does include Denton County. Chance for quarter-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour is the current threat out of it. Yeah, people are saying there's rotation. There's not really any rotation with that right now. It's pretty broad. It's not strong by any means. I don't think it'll be tornado warned, but go and show you the velocities again. See, it's broad. It's a tornado-producing storm. No, there's no tornado-producing storm at this time. There is no tornadoes as of right now. No tornado warnings. There's just a tornado watch. Yeah, sometimes sometimes the sirens will sound if there's a severe thunderstorm warning. It depends on the town and city. You have to look at, you know, what I don't know even where you look for it, but so I know Flower Mound does it for severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, so it's a little bit confusing. A lot of people think when their siren goes off, there's a tornado warning. It's not always true. Is there any rotation near Bonham? There might be. I haven't really looked up here. Well, that's a good radar view. It's kind of in between all these radar. Let me go to I'll look at radar scope in just a second and look from there because it's a little bit better. Fort Worth isn't necessarily safe. I think you'll see storms at some point. So the storm near Bonham looks like there's some broad rotation, but again, not very strong. Yeah, this storm is really starting to strengthen now, so this will be an area to watch very closely. Here's a little bit of a timeline for you. I'm not sure how accurate this is. This is computer generated, so it might not be right, but Denton is right around 8:30, so kind of give you an idea. You can pause your screen if you want to take a look at this and kind of get an idea for your timeline, but I'm going to get off at 3, 2, 1. There we go. But this is an area that we're watching closely now because there's definitely strengthening here. Not really rotation as of right now, but this will be an area to watch because it's starting to get a little bit stronger. You know, the line has been very well struggling to develop back here down to the southwest. A hail up the size of potentially hen eggs is now, or really golf balls, but possibly up to hen egg sized north of Bonham, by the way. If you know anybody in northern portion of this county, north of Bonham, possible for up to golf ball or maybe hen egg sized hail there. Still an ongoing severe thunderstorm warning. There's some rotation with the storm again, but it's not strong, but there's a little bit of rotation. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and as well as hail to the size of $half that's possible in far northwestern Cook County. Here's a wide look at everything that's going on across North Texas. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch has now expired in Wichita Falls. Severe thunderstorm warning is ongoing for Denton County, Wise County, just north of Bonham, northeastern Monte County, basically expired at this point, northwestern Cook County, all included in severe thunderstorm warnings. No tornado warnings at this time. This is the only storm that I would be this is the most concerning storm as right now because it's obviously going to a populated region. But hail up to the size of quarters, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will be possible. Let's take a look at the hail radar. I haven't done that yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hail over the last hour. Kind of get an idea there once it loads. Alright, this is a look at the hail as of right now. This is just a radar estimate. You can see hail up the size of possibly $0.50, going closer to Boyd. It's kind of a little track for you. Looks like hail right around nickel, or just under nickel, probably penny size near Decatur. And here's your hail core here that went through near St. Joe, possibly as high as golf ball size in this one. Looks like it shrunk down to probably nickel size now. The storm near bottom as well, you can kind of get a general look at this one. Looks like up to $0.50 size, maybe a little bit larger, up to golf ball size is what's warned for right now. But yeah, that's a look at the hail radar. I don't always look at that, but it is usually pretty accurate, so we look at it once in a while. Alright. I have to get water at some point. It takes like 2 seconds, but obviously we have a lot going on right now. Oh, new severe thunderstorm warning was issued for Cook County. That includes almost nearly all of Cook County. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail also possible with this storm. So there's now 6 different severe thunderstorm warnings, it looks like, if I'm counting that right. 2, 4, 6. No, there's 7 technically, but I mean 2 of them aren't in a region. So about 5. Let's just say 5. There's 5 severe thunderstorm warnings as of right now in North Texas. 7 total. 2 of them are about to expire, so really we're going to be down to 4 in North Texas. But obviously the one that includes a pretty large region here is including Wise and Denton counties. And this is a look at the radar again. Not a whole lot of much of a concern with that discrete supercell threat that I mentioned is a big question mark tonight. So far we're not seeing a whole lot out of that. Here's again a look at the velocities. No rotation here. I mean, it shows it. It's broad rotation, as I said before, but it's not strong. Maybe a little bit of rotation with this one as well, but it's again very broad. Not a concern as of right now. And then rotation anywhere close to that area I was talking about where it's strengthening. No rotation there. Pretty much no rotation across the board right now. It's broad, but, you know, nothing crazy. Alright, here's your look at your radar again. Again, the strongest portion of this storm, I would say, is right about here, near Boyd. So, looks like a little storm going through Denton right now as well. A weak storm, maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail, but that would be the most. Let me take a look at radar scope. I haven't looked at any of the reports. I just had somebody comment on one of my Facebook posts. Will you be going live? I'm live right now. Come back to the velocities. So, Bridgeport had pea-sized hail reported, but that was about it. If you have any reports, by the way, of hail or anything like that, let me know. Damaging wind gusts, if it's windy, anything, just post it in chat. I know many of you are probably getting hit by the storms in Wise County right now, so kind of gives you a bit of a heads up for anybody that's out in front of these storms. Also, real quick, while we're at it, make sure to check out our sponsors, Platinum Contracting, the best roofing company here in DFW, veteran-owned. Joe is a great guy. Make sure to check him out. Very reputable roofing company as well. Also, All Dents Repair, great hail repair company here in DFW. Will repair any car dents that you have from hail damage or anything in general, but make sure to check out Jimmy as well. He's a great guy. I think you can scan that QR code or call him as well. And Birdie's Pro Turf, if you need landscaping, make sure to check them out. All those links, by the way, are linked on Facebook and YouTube in the description. So if you want to check out any of them, you can just click on those links and they'll bring you right to them. Back to weather. Update on Gainesville. Yeah, so Gainesville is currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and maybe some quarter-sized hail will be possible. I wouldn't really expect much of a hail threat out of those, but maybe some damaging winds. You know, Parker County is kind of getting lucky, it looks like. I mean, you're just getting some showers right now. You're not going to get completely missed. There's a line that's developing back here to the west, and this might be a concern later on. But, yeah, I mean, this will be something to watch. I don't think it'll bring much of a severe weather potential, but, you know, it'll bring at least some storms and maybe some rain to North Texas. I think everybody's going to hit with storms regardless at this point. So, you know, I mean, if you're in Parker County right now, you'll likely get storms at some point tonight. And that might be from this area of storms. Yeah, anyone in Denton County should be on alert for up to quarter-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. It could even be a little bit larger than quarter-sized. That would primarily be with this little area near Boyd. Power out and on in Decatur. Thank you for the report. I'd be happy with some normal rain. You know, I would too. We're in a pretty big drought right now, so we really need any rain that we can get, even if it comes with the price of maybe a little bit of severe weather. I mean, it's well worth it. We are in a pretty bad drought right now. As long as there's no tornadoes and not really any significant severe weather, it's always beneficial. Which, so far, we haven't seen any significant severe weather. I mean, we've seen some large hail in a few places. Quarter-sized hail just east of Jacksboro. There was some, you know, golf ball-sized hail near St. Joe, but nothing widespread as of yet. And obviously, we're not even at the peak of this. Next hour or two will be the peak, but... yeah, Denton is 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. That's your threats as of right now. Timing right around 8:30. And Paris, as of right now, nothing there. You don't have to be concerned probably for a little bit. There might be a storm near Cooper going up that way, but that'd be about it. A little downpour right now in Allen. Looks like a storm trying to develop out in front of the line. Nothing crazy, though. Take a look at the... go back to the storm for right now. I'm going to get water. I'll be back in like 20 seconds. I lied. It took about 7 seconds. Thank you, Alyssa, for the 200 stars. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Also, Angie, thank you for resubscribing for 2 months. I appreciate it. That was a little while ago, but I did miss that. Alright, so the storm near Boyd, definitely a hail core developing there. That is strengthening pretty quickly now, near Boyd. That'll be something to watch. This could potentially get upgraded as a severe thunderstorm warning, possibly to up to $50 or maybe even a little bit greater hail. So that'll be something to watch. Appreciate it, Desiree. Thank you. I've mentioned Denton, like, I think 3 times. It's 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and quarter-sized hail right around 8:30. I haven't had water this entire stream, so it feels pretty good to drink water now. Alright. Back to the storm near... it looks like it's about to cross over the Red River, so it's not going to be much of a concern pretty shortly. But north of Bonham, there's currently a severe thunderstorm warning. Golf ball-sized hail, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour possible there. Storm developing near Cooper, going toward Paris. That could develop into something eventually, but as of right now, nothing crazy. A downpour developing, a little storm more than anything, developing near Allen and going toward McKinney. That'll be something to watch as well. A few little showers going through Dallas, nothing crazy. It looks like Cook County as of right now, some strong storms, severe weather. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Not really seeing much of that right now, but that's a possibility here over the next 60 minutes. Wise and Denton County are under a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. And again, that includes the potential for those 2 threats, but there could even be maybe larger hail in that Boyd little hail core, as I kind of said before. Jay Wall, thank you for the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your compliment. Appreciate it. Alright, and back to the severe weather. So, again, that's what we're looking at right now. Let me go back to the velocities. Take a look at those. And this is what we're looking at as of right now. So no rotation as of right now. More of anything, it's just damaging winds and hail. Here's a look at the downdraft wind, which you can see there's damaging winds possibly as high as 70 miles per hour near Boyd right now. That's the strongest part of this entire storm. And then, yeah, here's your hail core again. This is a very strong portion of the storm right now near Boyd. Let's go and take a look at the radar, the hail radar, excuse me. Take a look at the possible hail size with this. This is updated as of a minute ago, so it might not be up to the minute, but this is kind of an idea of what we're looking at in terms of hail. Quarter-sized hail, possibly as high as $50 hail near Boyd right now. Also hail up to the size of possibly quarters, it looks like, pretty close to it, along Route 380. About to go into northwestern Denton County. That's what we're looking at as of right now. in that terms of that hail core there. Again, there's golf ball sized hail currently in far north, or that was from earlier, excuse me. Actually, we're not going to look at that because that's from earlier. There's no hail currently, maybe a little pea-sized hail, but that's in Cook County, nothing crazy. And then back over to this storm again. This is where the largest hail seems to be, is in the Bonham storm, which is north of Bonham. Go back to the radar again. And hail was reported, wow, okay, so there was golf ball-sized hail reported north of Bonham, and that was included with this storm that's now moving off to the northeast. So there was definitely some large hail there, right along 78. I didn't mention that earlier. There was probably some pretty large hail there, but... let me turn off these tracks real quick, because it is kind of getting in the way of stuff. Let's go and turn that off. Where do I turn that off? Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Nope, it's not that either. What? I'm going to turn both of those off and see if it goes away. Yeah, I guess it won't go away. Alright, we'll keep it on there, I guess. Can't remember how I turned that off. Oh, maybe this? No, it's not that. Okay, that's fine. No problem, Jane. I wish I could hear you so low. Is it actually that quiet? You might have to turn up the volume button, because my microphone is pretty loud, actually. I'll move it closer to me. It might be a little bit louder now, but... It was... I'm pretty sure it's pretty loud. Again, here's a look at the live radar right now. Taking a look at the main two storms here on the left. That's really what we're looking at as of right now in terms of severe weather. No problem, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already. We post daily forecasts on both YouTube and as well as on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. And again, that's kind of what we're looking at as of right now. And yeah, that's really what we're looking at. This is the main storm again, closer to Denton and Wise County. Damaging winds again up to 60 miles per hour are possible with that storm. By the way, for those that are sending super chats on YouTube, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a donation on YouTube. I will be setting up alerts for that on this stream at some point, hopefully by tomorrow. I do apologize. For some reason, I don't have alerts on YouTube yet. Obviously, this is only my second YouTube stream now, so I'm doing it both on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So, yesterday was a test stream, but we'll be setting up everything hopefully by tomorrow, so everything's ready for next time. Is it quiet for everybody, or is it just one person or two people? Because I can turn up my mic settings if it's loud and clear. Okay. Yeah, if everybody just says it in the comments real quick if it's loud or not, just let me know. Because I'm not entirely sure if my mic volume is good or not. It might not be. I travel literally every weekend, and my microphone always changes, so. Sounds good? Okay. It's quiet on YouTube. Okay, that's good to know. That's actually interesting. Okay, thank you, everybody. Everybody spam the comments. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, I got like about 30 comments in the last like 5 seconds. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Alright, going back to the storms. Obviously, there's still one storm in Aubrey right now in New Hope. That is not severe, but that has potential for some small hail and gusty winds. Again, this storm line right here, this is the line of storms that's trying to develop. Strongest part of the line is right now here near Boyd. And then again, the strongest part of the line basically is right about here, so. If you're streaming on one computer, then one will be quieter than the other. I am streaming on a laptop, which is it's actually a gaming laptop, that's why I use it. I used to have a desktop computer and it was just so slow, so I stopped using it. Now I just use a laptop for everything, so. The laptop works a lot better. I have a monitor and then my laptop monitor, so. It works better than just having a computer that it went really slow. I transferred over to the laptop back in, I think, December, so. Or not December. It was actually beginning of this year. Or beginning of last semester. So that was right in August I started doing that. Lewisville. Lewisville will probably be right around 8:45 for the line of storms. If it makes it there. Or 9 o'clock, possibly. McKinney. Yes, there's a risk for McKinney. Risks for any of the 4-county metroplexes. Damaging winds for the main threat. Large hail and isolated tornadoes still exist as well tonight. And this little line of storms is now starting to make some progress on developing now into Parker County, so something to watch there. You can see the outflow boundary is right here. It's pretty prominent now, but that's your little boundary here. I don't know if it's even an outflow boundary, but it's definitely a little boundary there. You can see it. It's probably an outflow boundary that's kind of starting to develop some storms right in here. Also a little downpour near Plano and Garland. A little shower going through McKinney and Princeton. Fairview, all those areas looking at a little shower. Okay, I'll have to look up that location. I've never heard of... I'm not going to try to pronounce it. It's a YouTube comment, but I'll look at it real quick. Guessing that's not near DFW, though. Oh, whoa, that's not even close to my coverage area. Your threat will be probably later tonight. I'm not entirely sure on far eastern Texas in terms of your timing, but you might see something, you know, around... I would expect it after midnight. Let me take a look at the future radar real quick, and I'll give you a time. Looks like the severe storms will go through that field's location around 2 or 3 in the morning. I would expect mainly damaging winds to be your main threat, though. Okay. What about Sulphur Springs? Sulphur Springs will be, I think, around 11 or 12 tonight. It'll be a little bit later. No problem, Nicole. Or Casey. I don't know which one you want me to call you. Keller is going to be, I believe, within the next 30 minutes or so. Or it might already be going through your area, isn't it? Raining in Denton, yes it is. Thank you for your report. Again, this is just a strong storm. It's not severe. This is where the severe weather is for Denton County. It's back out to the west. So, something to keep in mind. Thank you, 2908. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching from Denton. I appreciate it. I'm glad I made this change to be both on YouTube and Facebook, because it seems like a lot of you actually watch on YouTube, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I was thinking about it for a while whether I'd do it, because it actually costs money to do what I'm doing right now, live streaming both YouTube and Facebook at the same time, so I was wondering, is it actually going to be worth it? And it definitely is, because a lot of you do watch on YouTube, so. I have to get a new flavor. I have a flavored water that I drink. It's really good. It's like, it has like a little bit of caffeine in it, so it's like an alternative to soda, and it has no sugar, so it's really good. What's crazy is I lost like 20 pounds in college after I stopped drinking soda and started drinking this stuff. It's called Circle, by the way, if you've never heard of it. It's really good. It's a bit expensive, but I lost a lot of weight doing it. Okay, and this is not a sponsor. It's not an ad, by the way. It's just being honest. John, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for your comment. Thank you so much. Sabrina, it's kind of up to you. I mean, if you want to watch on YouTube, that's totally up to you. Or on Facebook, it's whatever one works easiest for you. What do I drink? I drink Circle. This is not an ad, by the way. It's just what I drink. So when I'm streaming or doing anything, it's flavored water. So it's water and there's this flavor. I'll show you real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this is kind of what it looks like. I drink this every stream, and it helps you lose weight. If you're on like let's say you're drinking a lot of soda, it's a great way to lose weight, because like I really easily just like, I lost 25 pounds when I got to college because I stopped drinking soda and started drinking this instead. And it's called Circle. I'm drinking, I believe, Black Cherry right now, which is pretty similar to Dr. Pepper. It's really good. How do you financially support me? Well, you can become a Facebook supporter, YouTube supporter. Those are the best ways to do it. Also, you can also, yeah, it's not a sponsor yet, right? And then you can also donate to my page. I believe it's linked down in the description. But I really appreciate any support, regardless if you can donate or not. It does not matter to me. Obviously, it's a big help because college is so expensive. But thank you, Brandon, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Monetization. Monetization makes me some money, but it's not crazy. I'll be honest. It's good, but again, This is my full-time job. I've literally been doing this 60 to 80 hours per week just as of recently because of all the severe weather, so. Also, I apologize. I kind of got off topic. I will go off topic sometimes because, you know, I'm kind of like a little weather influencer, if you will, but, you know, I like kind of talking about personal life sometimes. No, I'm so, like, since I'm in school, I put so much time both into school and Facebook. I, like, don't even have a social life right now, so this is my social life. Just doing this weather. Okay, any circulation in the storms? No, there's no severe weather. There's severe weather, but there's no rotation in the storms as of right now. Brandon, you're good. Thank you. Appreciate your support. No, there's no tornado warning or anything like that in New Fairview or, Rome. Thank you, Gustavo. I appreciate your support. Thank you, Alex, for becoming a supporter. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have all of us. I know I do. I honestly, I don't talk that much, like, IRL. I talk to family all the time and stuff like that. I talk a lot, but I just don't talk. Like, people my age, I don't really talk to that much because I just don't connect with them. You know, it's crazy. I talk a lot more to adults than I ever will to somebody that's, like, my age. It's just how I go. It's always been like, I mean, it's been like that for years now. It's really weird. But also, by the way, there's potential for now golf ball-sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour with this storm that's heading toward Denton. That would again be for this area that's back off to the west. This is the most prominent area, is near Boyd and Rome, moving off to the northeast. That is now a potential for golf ball-sized hail entering western Denton County here pretty shortly. There's also some potential for some large hail as well near Aubrey. That's a strengthening spot as well. Tornado warning in Hazlet. I don't think so. There's definitely not any tornado warnings right now. Take a look at the rotation there real quick. The storm is tagged as tornado possible, is it? I don't know why it would be tagged as tornado possible. I'll look at it. I don't see the tag for a tornado possible on radar scope. Wait, is it on here? No, I don't see it. I mean, there's not any rotation right now, so I would not really be that concerned about it, but... Also, sorry, I'm probably missing a bunch of questions. My chat is just scrolling super fast, so... Power just cut off again. Sounds like 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts in New Fairview. Thank you for your report. Yeah, the power's gonna be going on and off, most likely, with some of these places. Yeah, Dallas could get some severe weather tonight. Anybody could get it. No problem, Hannah. Appreciate you watching. And your husband as well. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go and post another post on this storm because it's now upgraded to potential for now golf ball sized hail. So let me post this real quick on Facebook. Thank you, Hannah, for the 530 stars. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Oh, was it tagged originally? I don't know if it was tagged originally. I didn't see it. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. What time will it stop storming in Denton? Probably, I mean, to be honest, the best time I can give you is like 1 in the morning, but it'll probably end sometime around 11 or 12. The main area of storms here will likely end within the next hour and a half, but... Wow, look at this hail core. Holy. Near Route 81. That is a very large hail core. That could very easily be hen egg-sized hail, possibly as high as baseball-sized hail. Currently falling in that small area there, so that is very large hail. That is an area to watch. Also, some storms forming out in front of it. Not anything severe, but near Plano, Wiley, McKinney, seeing a few storms there. Nothing severe there, though. This is where we're looking at the severe weather right now. Possibility, again, for golf ball-sized hail, possibly even larger, going toward Denton County right now. So, keep in mind. All right, I need to post this on Facebook real quick. I'll be like 20 seconds. 1 second. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the chat. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Become a supporter here on Facebook for only $4.99 per month. I really appreciate your support. All right. Cool. All right, that's posted to Facebook now, and we are back. Well, we were here before, but... Yeah, there's some storms forming back out near Graham and Jacksboro, and I appreciate... not appreciate... I apologize for the rendering issues. There's some rendering issues with this map, but... it's the most high-quality map I have, so I use it. But there's a couple storms back out there. No severe weather, though, right now. Green triangles. Oh, those are hail... Okay, so those are hail indicators. I don't usually use it. I only have it on right now just because I wanted to have it on. There's a 100% chance of hail being in that storm, not a surprise. Hail the size of baseballs is possible with this, by the way. It's just an easy way to see hail detection. It's just computer generated, so it might not be exactly accurate, but it just shows you if there's hail. They all mean different things, so... When will it hit Burleson? I think it'll probably be closer to about 9 to 9:30, maybe a little bit later than that. Yellow outlines, those mean severe thunderstorm warnings. Here's your little key, by the way, at the top here. Oh, that was a horrible circle. Oh my god. I'm bad at drawing. But here's a look here, a little key here. So, thunderstorm warnings are yellow, and then pink are tornado warnings or watches. So, this is a watch, obviously, and then this is another watch. There's no tornado warnings right now, so. The supercell near Boyd, that's heading off to the east, so it's not going toward you anymore. How is Little Elm looking for the night? You will be seeing some storms tonight. That's what you have to watch out for. Everybody in DFW has to look out for storms. Again, damaging wind's the main threat tonight. Jacob, I'm not nearly as concerned as I was earlier, but there's still a chance we see a discrete supercell or two form out in front of the line that could have a tornado threat, but at this point, it does not seem that likely. I mean, the storms have been trying to do that for the last, 2 hours. They have not had any success, so. Argyle's about to get hit by this line of storms as well. Anybody in Denton County should be on alert for the potential for golf ball-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour with this area of storms. You can see this is where your hail core is right now. There's definitely some pretty large hail with that. I will be looking at reports in just a moment as well, just to kind of see if there's anything new. Thank you, Joel, for the 530 stars. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Dime-sized hail in New Fairview. Thank you for the report. You're going to go storm chasing right now? Right now you're going to? Going a little bit late. It's kind of hard to see at 8:25 at night, I would imagine. Is Wichita Falls done for the night? Yes, you are done in terms of the severe weather. I don't think you're... There might be a little bit of rain there. Yeah, it was just rain. Yeah, you're done with the severe weather for tonight, so... Severe thunderstorm watch did expire in Wichita Falls. Temperature dropped to 73 in McKinney. Was it not 73 already? I thought it was mid-70s today. Bowie should be clearing out for the rest of the night. You will still probably see some passing showers, but that'd be about all. So yeah, New Fairview, just north of there, was some dime-sized hail. That's a report. There was quarter-sized hail near Boyd a little while ago. The main area where the main hail core is, which is, again, that's right here now. This is where there's been no reports of any hail yet. There's obviously hail there. We're not sure what the hailstone size is, though. And it's very well likely golf ball size, so that's what at least a warning is for right now. Yeah, the cap is not broken, but it's very weak. If it was broken, we would be looking at discrete supercells. A tank battery caught on fire after being struck by lightning, apparently, at 8 o'clock in Decatur. I don't know what that means, but that was apparently reported by Emergency Management. So, something caught on fire from lightning. No problem, Jacob. When will it hit Arlington? Right around, I think, 9 or 9:30 will probably be when you see some storms. That's if you see storms. Depends on if this line continues to extend south. It hasn't really done that yet. There are still some storms behind it, but those probably will not be that impactful. Please do not spam a city name, but Paris would, again, that's pretty much later tonight. Like around 11 o'clock. 10, 11 o'clock will be probably when you see storms. Justin Roanoke probably seeing storms right about now. Again, golf ball-sized hail. Damage winds up to 60 miles per hour is possible. Now now baseball-sized hail is possible with this storm. That is now upgraded to potentially baseball-sized hail with this storm in Denton County. So this warning has now been upgraded to potential for baseball-sized hail and damage winds up to 60 miles per hour. That is what this storm is upgraded to. And I will have to post this as well. And that is, again, with that main hail core. This other stuff isn't really where the hail core is. This is where we're looking. It's back in Wise County right now. And it's about to enter into Denton County. That is now posted. So yeah, there is now a potential for who gives you these updates. This is the National Weather Service of DFW, so it's all from them. So just to be clear for everybody, baseball-sized hail, and that's up to baseball. So it's probably closer to golf ball-sized hail, but it is now warned up to baseball-sized. That is for those black shaded areas here, where the rain is being shown as heaviest. That is where those hail cores are the greatest. Anywhere outside of that is likely quarter-sized or less. So that is the area that we're watching for the potential for some very large hail. I'll try to get a timeline on that in just a moment, but thank you for subbing. I appreciate it, C-Ron. I'm probably saying that wrong, but thank you for the subbing. Appreciate it. Rotation just west of Justin. I'll look at that on radar scope. 1 second. Yeah, there's some rotation now popping up near Justin. That is interesting. That is very sudden as well. So far, quarter-sized hail has been reported near New Fairview. Nothing greater than that has been reported yet, but that's yet. And I don't really think they would upgrade it to baseball-sized hail unless they thought there would be baseball-sized hail, so there very well is a good chance of just baseball-sized hail with this. Lights just went off and on in Justin. Thank you for your report. Yeah, this is the only storm I'm going to be looking at for right now, unless something else pops up. But, I mean, this is obviously the most potent storm out of all of them right now. The rotation in Justin, yeah, so let me go and pull up on the velocities. It's very new. I guess it doesn't want to pop up. There we go. Here's your rotation. It weakened now, but I mean, the last scan it was a little bit stronger. Here's where that rotation was. It's not as strong anymore. There's definitely damaging wind gusts here, though. That's damaging winds up to 65, 70 miles per hour right there. But there was rotation for a brief moment there. It's not there anymore, though. It's at least not as strong as it was a second ago. It was broad, so it's not tight, so we don't have to be too concerned about it yet. Light just went on and off, and Mountain Springs as well. Thank you for the report. Yeah, I'll draw a line for the large hail area. Let me go back in the future, or let me go back in the past here for just a second here. Let me get an exact track. Okay, so it kind of looks like, you know, it looks like it's going pretty much east. I'll go ahead and restart the radar real quick. It takes 2 seconds. This will not be exact timing, by the way, but this is just kind of give you a general idea of where it's heading. It's going in this general direction. I'll zoom out a little bit. Might be a little bit far. Oh my god, my pen is glitched. 1 second. Let me zoom out and do it from here. This is where the main hail core is going, which this very well could vary. This is not, again, this is not the exact timing. This is just a general track of where it's going. It's going east-northeast, I would say. Maybe a little bit more northeast. So this could be going toward Denton, but that's what we're looking at as of right now. That's the track. Timing, again, is not accurate. So don't look at the timing, but this is the track of it. So it'd be going in this kind of direction. But anywhere beyond, you know, Argyle, it's very hard to predict because it is a pretty... The hail core keeps moving all over the place, so it's not really in the same spot. It's been going up and down, so it's not really on an exact track right now. Tennis ball in New Fairview. making. If you can send photos of that or anything like that, let me know. Alright, so tennis ball sized hail, that's what it's warned for, by the way. So there could be very well some tennis ball sized hail. But if you have any photos, send them to me on Facebook or by email, dentoncountyweather@gmail.com. You can send it there as well. Again, baseball sized hail possible, or not baseball, tennis ball sized hail possible with this storm. The green symbol, this right here is just a hail icon. That's all it is. Lacey, I do not disagree with you. Let me go back to the velocities again. I don't think the velocities have changed a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, it shows rotation, but it's not even near the storm, so I don't think it's actually rotation. I think it's just strong winds. Again, that's the only storm that's concerning as of right now is what's in Denton County right now. A very, very strong storm. Make sure you've already protected your car tonight. Bring it into a garage. Whatever you got to do. Whatever precautions you can take, take them. I'm not on a website, RK. I am on a software, which is a lot of money. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this with a friend, make sure they're aware of this storm. It's obviously a very strong storm. If you haven't already, make sure, consider subscribing here to our Facebook page. It's only $4.99 a month. It really helps our page grow. Supports my full-time job here on Facebook. Or donate with stars, or anything like that. It really helps our page a lot. This flavor is not working. Again, if you have questions, do not message me. Please post them on the chat, because I'm not going to be looking at my messages for questions tonight. I have already so many messages that I have to go through, so it's going to take forever. And I don't know when I'm not going to be live. I don't know when I'm going off at this point. It just depends on when my roommate gets back, but who knows when he's going to be back. I don't know. New paint job might be in the future. Yeah, I mean, you got to get some work done sometimes when these storms roll through. Sanger, you're just looking at a storm right now. No, it doesn't look like any severe weather is going there right now. The severe weather is primarily right now in western central Denton County right now. Yeah, the rotation in Justin, I don't think there's any rotation. Somebody mentioned it. The rotation is not attached with the storm. It's not rotation. It's not like tornado rotation, so don't be concerned about that. It's just hail and damaging winds right now. If you want to look at the velocities, this is where somebody was mentioning there was rotation, but if you take a circle here and look at the storm, I mean, the storm's not even there, so it's not rotation. If there was actually rotation, it would have to be somewhere closer to, like, here or here, you know, that sort of thing. It would actually have to be, like, attached to the storm a bit more. So. And it shows right here, but it's not. Let me go ahead and turn that off, because it's kind of a bit misleading. There we go. Turn that off. Thank you, Valerie, for the 200 stars. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I just gave a update on Singer. I think that's what you just asked, right? Okay, yeah. You were the one that asked it, so. Is this storm strengthening as it heads east through Saginaw? Or, excuse me, through Arkansas. I don't know why I just said Saginaw. This is not going toward Arkansas, I don't think. At least this storm. I don't do Arkansas weather, so honestly, I don't really have an answer for you. I can look real quick, but I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of severe weather. Depends on where you are in Arkansas. Unless you're in southern Arkansas, no. This is not going toward you. Any threat of a tornado in Denton? No. At this point, the tornado threat's very low. There's a possibility, but it's very low, so. Tornado threat's pretty low with this. I don't want to butcher the name, but thank you for the 200 stars from... I don't know where the name just went. But thank you for the 200 stars. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. I'll try to read it. Dear Drun. Hopefully I'm probably not saying that right. But thank you for the 200 stars. Appreciate it. Alright, here's your hail core again. This is near North Lake now. Just west of North Lake. Very strong storm. Potential for baseball-sized hail is possible. Thank you, Katie, for becoming a supporter. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hot Springs, yeah, I don't... Oh, Hot Springs, Arkansas? Actually, I know where that is. Again, I don't know a whole lot about Hot Springs area. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't do weather for Arkansas, so... Thank you, Brock, for the 1,200 stars. I really appreciate your donation and support. Thank you so much. Do you think Rockwell will get any large hail? Possibly, but again, it's kind of far out to even predict that. It depends on where the storm goes, really. I mean, this is the only storm that is really, in my opinion, considered severe. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning in Cook County, but I've really just ignored it because there's not really any severe weather there. It's too far out to predict if there'll be hail at a certain spot. Yeah, I'll turn up my mic. I'm not sure why. For some reason, YouTube is having an issue with my mic volume. I will turn it up a little bit, but I can't turn it up any louder. Otherwise, it's going to be very bad on Facebook. That's your settings. Okay. I honestly, I don't know. YouTube, apparently, I've had a few people say that. I'm not entirely sure, though. Do you think Little Elm will get hit? Most likely, yes. It might not be by that particular hailstorm, but... does Paris need to cover cars? You mean, if you can, I would do it. Also, thank you, Carolyn, for the 200 stars. I appreciate it. Paris, I would probably cover your cars just in case, as a precaution, but, you know, you don't have to, but it's a good precaution to always take, just in case. Thank you, Eric, for becoming a supporter. I appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Sean, for the $5 super chat as well on YouTube. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Denton again. Yeah, Denton is just seeing, right as at the moment, they're just seeing quarter-sized hail. Brandon, thank you for the 1,200 stars again. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, Denton right now is just seeing quarter-sized hail potential as well as damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. The main hail core, again, is near Ponder and North Lake. Also, anybody else that does become a supporter, stars or anything like that, I will wait to mention it until a little bit later when we're not really in the middle of the severe thunderstorm warning, because obviously there's a lot of people supporting me. I really appreciate you as well, but obviously I do have to pay attention to the storm pretty closely for everybody that's watching. Again, this is where the main storm is. This is where the main hail core is right here. That the potential for, I would expect, probably golf ball sized hail now is probably what we're seeing now. Carolyn, I'll post a few links real quick and try to pin it. But just give me a few minutes when I'll post some financially supporting things in just a minute. Beth, thank you for the 200 stars. I appreciate it. I'm going to look at hail reports real quick and see what we're looking at in terms of hail. But I'm not entirely sure what we're looking at as of right now. I haven't seen any report. Like, I've not seen really any reports on this yet in terms of hail in Denton County yet. So, Crum has reported pea-sized hail, but that's obviously pretty far away from the main hail core. I'm going to go and pull up the radar for the hail, and this is the computer generated one, so it'll give you an idea of what we're looking at now. Wow, look at that. Holy, I haven't looked at this. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate your comment. Appreciate your support as well. Yeah, look at this. This is the hail core, by the way, and it's pretty large. That's why there's a considerable threat listed on this. Hail has peaked at about 2.1 inches, by the way. Apparently, that's according to the computer, which is probably pretty accurate. Here in Denton County, at this point, as of right now, it's up to golf ball sized as it's entered Denton County. Near Ponder and North Lake, it's getting pretty close right now to at least nickel sized. And then it looks like just some nickel sized in northern, just north of Denton there. So that's the hail as of right now. So it's pretty large hail, to say the least. And the radar is loading, so just give me 1 second. Or the radar does not want to load. Cool. I'm going to put this radar on real quick. I'll go back to the other radar in a second. It's not wanting to click on. Oh, I have to slide it, that's why. Okay, going back to the radar. Okay, I'm going to restart this really quick, the radar app, because it's not wanting to work. 1 second. Alright, 1 second, please. I am restarting the app. It's a black screen for everybody. We're not, out or anything like that. I just got to restart the software. Okay, we are going back to the regular screen. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Back to normal. I don't know why, but it wanted to glitch out there. Okay, so here's a look again at the storm. The main hail core, again, possibly up to golf ball-sized hail as of right now. It is warned for baseball-sized hail, but Looks like it's mainly quarter-sized. Or not quarter-sized, excuse me, golf ball-sized. Rotation and Aubrey. There's no rotation right now in any of these storms. Hey, Riley, how you doing? Yeah, so there's no rotation as of right now in any of these storms, so don't be too concerned about that. Okay, let me go and put those, software. Yeah, the software is expensive. If you want to email me or message me on Facebook, I can give you a link to it, director, but just email me at, the email's on on all my videos on YouTube, so you can just email me there or message me on Facebook. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate it. Okay, I did have somebody asking, so I'll post it real quick. I'll post a couple of links. I'll post them on Facebook, because that's, I think, where the question was being asked. Where is it? Again, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest. Okay, I posted them in chat. Those are the donation links. They are also linked in the description of this Facebook live stream, as well as on our YouTube pages, if you want to support us. Is Decatur done for the night? You're not done. You're probably going to see maybe another storm behind it, but it's not going to be severe. So, in terms of severe weather, you're probably done for tonight. There's not going to be... There's no tornado in Justin. There's no rotation in any of these storms right now, so... Or at least nothing strong or anything like that that could be warned. All the rotation is either broad or does not exist, so... We're not looking at any tornado threat out of any of these storms as of right now. Hail threat looks like it's probably down to quarter size now. Or not quarter size, excuse me, golf ball. I keep saying quarters. Probably down to golf ball size again with this main hail core near North Lake. But yeah, that's what we're looking at as of right now. When will the worst part hit Corinth? It's probably going to hit you within the next 30 minutes or so. No problem, Tammy. Yeah, Denton's right here. Again, that's really just about quarter-sized hail, maybe damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour as of right now. Will Burleson get hit at all? Probably eventually. The line is starting to extend now down to the southwest near Weatherford. So you'll probably get hit at some point within the next hour and a half or two. Tornado watch, again, does exist all across North Texas. Or not all across it, but all of DFW. And eastern, southern, and as well as northeastern North Texas are all included in that tornado watch. Go ahead and zoom back in onto the storm again. Oh, there's now a tornado warning. Okay, so now there's a tornado warning. This storm does have broad rotation. Near Aubrey, New Hope, Prosper, Salina, Weston, Gunter are all included in a tornado warning. And again, does include the potential for a tornado to develop at any time. Not confirmed, but it is rotating. Just give me 1 second to post this. So yeah, again, if you are in this warning, make sure to seek shelter. Lowest portion of your home away from windows. That is Aubrey, Prosper, Salina, Melissa, Weston, Gunter, Pilot Point, all included in a tornado warning. I will get to the rotation in just a moment. Okay, I posted on Facebook. Okay, so the cap is not broken, is weak though. Going back to the velocities. This is where the rotation is. It's right over Aubrey right now. It's broad, but it is definitely starting to strengthen a bit. It was a little bit broad when I saw it just a few minutes ago. But this is moving off to the east-northeast. It will be going in between, most likely, Pilot Point, and it will be going toward Salina or Salina. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's one of the two. And New Hope is pretty much clear from this, but anyone in Aubrey should be seeking shelter immediately, away from windows, interior room of your house. Tornado could be on the ground at any time with the storm. Make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. This is now a tornado warning. Again, that does include southwestern Grayson County, northwestern Collin County, as well as northeastern Denton County. This does not include the city of Denton. As I said before, it does not include the city of Denton or Argyle or Flower Mound. None of those areas are included. It's only for Aubrey, Pilot Point, Gunter. Those areas should be seeking shelter right now, away from windows and interior room of your house, lowest floor of your house as well, or building. And if you have a mattress, something like that, definitely make sure you're using that. This is likely going to be rain-wrapped if there's a tornado. It's right about here, so you're not going to be able to see it. Don't try to take pictures. Just make sure you're staying away from windows. It's obviously nighttime, so it's hard to see these in general. So, again, make sure you're seeking shelter away from windows. So again, new tornado warning. Just looking at the warning details right now. Obviously, it's not confirmed as of right now, but there is a potential for a tornado at any time. Tornado signs are going off in Denton, but Denton, again, the city of Denton is not included in this warning, so no concern in the city of Denton. You're not in the tornado warning. This is, again, where the rotation is. It's in Aubrey right now. Sirens in Northlake. The Northlake sirens are probably for the severe thunderstorm that's going through the area right now. I'm not entirely sure if there's an actual tornado in Aubrey, but there's a tornado warning. There's only a warning right now. There's not confirmation of any tornado right now. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook. Share this with a friend. Make sure they're aware of this tornado warning and the severe thunderstorm warning for the potential for golf ball sized hail in Denton County. It says up to tennis ball sized hail, but I believe that threat is kind of gone down now since when it was last updated. Again, this is where the rotation is. It's right here near Aubrey, Krugerville, south of Pilot Point. Any of these areas should be seeking shelter. Anyone in Denton County, immediately seek shelter away from windows in this pink boxed area. If you're in Collin and Grayson counties, anywhere in the warning area, you should be considering getting to shelter right now. Make sure you're prepared to get into shelter once the storm gets closer to you. Going back to the reflectivity again, this is what we're looking at in terms of reflectivity. The hail core with the potential for golf ball sized hails moving through Northlake right now and about to move through Canyon Falls. Ponder also as well. There was a report of $half sized hail in New Fairview, by the way. That was from earlier. Again, this tornado warning does include Aubrey, New Hope, and Pilot Point, and that also includes northwestern Collin County, southwestern Grayson County. Here's the look at the reflectivity. Not strong rotation by any means. It's still fairly broad, but this could very well strengthen at any time. It is moving off to the east-northeast, and it's going to be kind of going this track here, likely going in this kind of direction. So, Melissa and Prosper are included in the warning, but just make sure you're aware of the storm. Make sure you have a plan in place just in case the storm does go in that direction. Storm in Weatherford, I'll get to that in just a second. I don't think there's any severe thunderstorms other than this one. Here's the storm down near Weatherford. It's just a little weak storm. It's nothing severe. The only severe weather is currently in the northern portions of DFW right now. Heavy hail in Northlake. Okay, so we have reports of heavy hail in Northlake right now, according to Brandon. Sirens in Frisco. Yeah, Sherman might get a warning, but you're not under a tornado warning right now. Director, there's no confirmed tornado in Aubrey. There's just broad rotation, so there's probably not a tornado on the ground right now, but there could be one at any time. Yeah, right now there's just broad rotation with the storm. Tornado could be at any time, so make sure you're seeking shelter if you're in northeastern Denton County, or northwestern Collin County, or southwestern Grayson County. Those areas you should be seeking shelter. Yeah, the rotation is currently right over Aubrey. That's where it is right now. It's broad, but it's definitely there. Sirens, and Prosper. Thank you for the report. Yeah, you might receive a tornado warning if you're in the county of where that warning is, but this is the only area that's included in that warning. So, just keep that in mind. Again, there's no tornado warning outside of this pink box area. This is the only tornado warning. It does not include Lewisville. So, just so you're aware. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube page as well for the latest this evening. We'll be keeping you updated on Facebook with the latest. We'll be posting updates. I might have to get off pretty soon when I'm live, but we will be keeping you updated. Also, I do appreciate all the recent support. Heather, thank you for the 1,200 stars. Eric, thank you for the 310 stars. Suzanne, thank you for the supporter. And as well as Robin, thank you for becoming a supporter. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us here on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be back. We'll be covering this on our Facebook page, so make sure you're subscribed to both our Facebook and YouTube pages. We'll keep you updated here throughout the evening. We're going to go off for right now because of other reasons, but make sure to stay updated with North Texas Weather Center for the latest. And make sure to subscribe and follow.